Alright, so as my friend here holding an iPad is showing us, we live in a very unique time. We have so much information at our fingertips. You can go online and get the latest news from global web news pages around the world. You can even diagnose your cold or flu. But what we're focusing on today is social media for the sake of this conference, hopefully. The two sites I focused on were Facebook and Twitter, which are two of the most prominent and also popular social media sites that are out there right now. Starting with Facebook. Facebook was founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg. At the end of December 2011, they boasted that they had over 845 million monthly active users, and that's E+, now it's now over 900 million. The features of the site, there's friends. It's a very reciprocal relationship. You need to be accepted by a friend who's in a network, your network, or in a different one for you to access each other's information. There's the news feed where you can see status updates from all your friends. Pictures, they have the idea of tagging, I believe, is originated on Facebook. It's where you get linked to pictures. They can come to your site. People can see who you are and go to your page just by looking at a picture. And now the newest feature is the timeline, where you're really tracking your whole life via Facebook, or at least that's their intention. But for the sake of my study, what I'm going to be looking at is the prompts that these social media sites give us. And for Facebook, it's what's on your mind. So that's the status bar right there. When you go to write the status on your Facebook page, that's what you see. And before you click on the site, every time you go to update your status, it's going to say what's on your mind. Looking at Twitter, the features are the following follower relationship. So if you're following an account, you're going to be getting and seeing the tweets that they're putting on their status updates, is what they call tweets. And this is opposite, or not opposite, different from Facebook in the fact that there's no reciprocal relationship needed. You can be following someone without them following you back. You can have followers and not follow them. The idea of hashtags we've already heard about today. It marks significance into posts, also links your posts to other posts that have the same hashtag, and also allows there to be trending topics throughout Twitter, and also the character limit. There's all different kinds of accounts. There can be student organizations, there can be celebrities, those dead or alive. There could be my roommate, Ben Johnson, who likes Professor Hall, the coolest. Tweeted for the class, I told him to get involved in the presentation. But, so our prompt for Twitter is what's happening. It's not the same as what's on your mind, but both these are there every time you're tweeting, every time you're updating your status. And what I'm focusing on is, are these prompts really affecting what we're saying on these social media sites? So, my study, what we need to focus on for my study first is genre. Because, oh, can't really see it on here. Well, genre studies, I focused on Carolyn Miller and Amy Devitt, their works about genre study. On the left, I'm sorry, you can't see it, it says recurrence, rhetorical situation, and exigency. And those three terms are terms they all use, and they're terms I think are very key in studying the exigency, or as Miller defines as social motive, in these social media sites. Rhetorical situations are very unique. These genres are actually very dynamic. They're creating their own genre. Something that I would argue is that Facebook and Twitter, with all their features, all the things that's going on, that this genre is something that's never been seen before, and that's why it's very interesting. Another dark one, I'm sorry. It says social media prompts and genre. And why I think it's important is because we're trying to find out if the prompts are the key social exigency or social motive to what people are posting on their Twitter or Facebook accounts. So, my study is a top-down approach kind of study. I had an idea going into this, and I'm trying to back it up with my quantitative research. And my idea was that these prompts do indeed affect what we're posting. And for Facebook, what's on your mind? What I really think the focus is how it engages the user. It's saying your mind. It really wants to know what you have to think, or what's on your mind, what you're thinking about, what you have to say. And I'd like to call this the conversational. And in order to explore the conversational, I look at the words I, you, and me, the pronouns, because I believe that's a good measure of people kind of being in conversation when they're being engaged. And for Twitter's what's happening, I'm going with the happening. It's very temporal. It's what's going on right now, what's going on in your life, what's going on in the world. So we're looking at the words now, today, and just in order to see if these temporal words are as prevalent as I think they might be. So my corpus for Facebook, I looked at status updates from Facebook.com. Out of my 1,003 friends over the course of 48 hours, I got 115, no, I'm sorry about that. I got 145 statuses, making up 2,708 words. and approximately 115 of my friends were the ones who put these statuses up. On Twitter, which is surprising, very surprising to me, is I only follow 158 accounts, yet I have 329 tweets making up 4,869 words, which is much more while following or being updated by very many less people. And that was approximately 120 Twitter accounts that made up this corpus. This is my information. I use ENG to search for my conversational and direct engagement or my temporal words. To look at Facebook first, the what's on your mind. Looking at I, you, and my. They're all, or at least I and you, were very, very prevalent. They hit 71 hits for I and 63 for you, and it ranked 3rd and 4th for the words that were found in the corpus. On Twitter, I didn't include the number because the corpus is a different size. I didn't think it would be very effective. But as far as the rank goes with words that were used, I was definitely used just as much on Twitter, but as you see with you and my, it definitely falls down to 7 and 13, where my, being the lowest one, was ranked at 8. When looking at Twitter with the temporal words, now was the most frequent, actually that's wrong, just was most frequent, I'm sorry, ranked at 27, which wasn't very high. I was expecting higher, to be honest, but there are a lot of words that are used every day in Twitter use. Today and now are both within at least 100 rank, but when looking at Facebook, looking at these temporal words, people seem to not be as have as much importance about when things are going on, but more about what is on their mind, what they're trying to get across. That's why I was ranked, I thought at least, now is at 50, and Justin today we're at about 150, 180, well beyond the 100 mark. So, my study is trying to find out whether or not this exigency is effective. And I'm saying, so what? Why is this important? When we're looking at this is a huge mountain. Well, this is a huge idea. Why is it a huge idea? Because these social media websites are able, or at least what my conclusion would be, that they're able to dictate what people are putting on their websites. These are supposed to be personal pages, people sharing their insights, sharing what's going on in their own life, yet these prompts are something that's affecting everything they do. So, this is a huge mountain. Maybe it's just the tip of the iceberg. What I think, from here on out, what we need to do is to continue researching. I think the biggest key, biggest problem with my own research, being that it was a top-down exploration, it's top-down exploration, I didn't have enough of a corpus to be very definitive in my answer. Nothing that I found in my corpus went against my claims, but at the same time, there weren't definitive, big results that would be able to say definitely this is what we need to do. So I think we need, number one, continue the larger corpus. I think also the best way to go about finding if these prompts actually do affect what people are writing is that to see if these prompts change over time. Since Facebook's been created in 2004, they've gone through, this is their 3rd now prompt, and I believe that if these prompts get changed at least one more time on Twitter or Facebook, if you refer back to the study or a comparative study with a larger corpus, and then compare it to a new study with a newer prompt, you'll be able to find that maybe these status updates or these tweets are changing. So that is all. Thank you very much.